super excited to be here today. And I'm doing another live. Yesterday I was doing a live for the big announcement, which was Born to Dominate. And today I realized that I really want to have some freedom just to share to the world how mindset just completely changes your understanding of mindset, how that impacts your leadership and your ability to help your team better. And it's something that I'm leaning more into every single day with my incredible, amazing team who I love and adore. And they're so good at what they do. And I love each and every one of them. And also just the impact of all the one-on-one coaching clients that I've had where they've come to me in our one-on-one sessions and, asked me how to help their mindsets and their team's mindset. And also just can I just be honest and real with you all? After coaching literally hundreds of travel entrepreneurs and being a high ticket coach myself, like I know how mindset impacts your ability to do what you want to do as an agency owner and what the mindset is that your teams are going through. I've seen it hundreds and hundreds of times. I know some of the most amazing agencies owners out there have maybe 60 ICs, maybe 70 ICs. And even if they have a whole bunch of experience with the practical, the experience that I've had in such a short amount of time with so many different people in this industry with all the different mindset blocks and mindset hurdles puts me in a really unique position to help them and really help them understand how mindset impacts their bottom line results. And so any agency owners, founders, leaders out there who really want to understand how emotional intelligence and mindset impacts your team, I just wanted to pose to you like a really simple idea. And that is that most leaders look at results, which are sales, leads coming in, what the closing rate is. They look at what we all call as KPI, key performance indicators, right? And oftentimes, unfortunately, that's like the report card or the scorecard that a lot of leaders use. The thing is the report card is always going to be indicative of the actual behavior of your team. So you can look at KPIs. KPIs are great, but KPIs are only part of the story. KPIs show you the behavior, which is a combination of skill set. So how you're doing as leader to train your team, but they're also reflective of the mindset of your team. And what you have to realize is that, as my district manager taught me when I was 23 working for Kohl's, a good leader looks at the numbers and knows that the numbers never lie. They showcase the behaviors of the team. Once you see the behaviors of the team, then you want to impact the behaviors because that's automatically going to change the results that you get. Where a lot of people miss, where a lot of leaders miss opportunities, where a lot of leaders leave sales on the table, where a lot of leaders miss closing of sales, where a lot of leaders miss opportunity for growth and exponential growth at that, is that they don't understand and can't comprehend how, if they started talking about emotional intelligence, they started talking about the mindset of their team, that would greatly impact and change the behaviors that they do. And if the thinking changes the behaviors, that automatically is going to have a huge and drastic exponential impact on your results. So today, what I wanted to do is I wanted to talk to you guys about 7 lessons I've learned about the impact mindset has had on leadership. This is an overview of things that I've discovered myself as a leader, not just like through owning a travel agency, but also through the high ticket coaching that I do for all of travel entrepreneurs that I've done through the amazing Careers on Vacation coaching program, helping CEOs go through and grow and scale their teams and all that kind of stuff, and just share some of those lessons with you so that wherever you are, wherever your team is as a leader, you can really walk away with some really good takeaways for today. So the first thing I want to say is that every person on your team, which is really just every adult, is going to be a byproduct of two things in their life. Their mindset is going to be a byproduct of two things. It's going to be a byproduct of how they were raised as a child. So think about childhood trauma, childhood reward, childhood punishment. That's going to be a huge piece of it. And the second piece of it is anything that happened to them as an adult. So as a mindset person, one of the first things that I do when I start working with any one-on-one coaching client is I want to know more about their past experience as an adult, past business experiences, where they've really come from, what's happened in their life, because that's going to shade and tell me a whole lot about how they think, how they perceive the world, and more importantly, how they think and they perceive themselves. Remember, confidence is just what you believe you're capable of doing and who you believe you're created to be. That's all confidence is. So confidence is going to be a key indicator of their ability to have courage and do new things. And if they're part of your team, you want them to step outside of your comfort zone. So if I know where they come from as a child, and I know what happened when they were growing up, and I know some of the events they might have experienced as an adult, then my ability of a leader exponentially increases, because as a leader, you have to meet people where they're at. That was a huge mistake I made when I was at Kohl's department stores. I just treated everybody the same way, and people are at different places in their life. And what works for one person doesn't work for the other person. And that's because they have different personalities. And what is a personality anyway? Personality is just a habitual way of thinking and a habitual way of perceiving the world and habitual way of how they feel. That's all personality is anyway. So that's number one. Number two is your team's mindset is never going to be greater than your own mindset. One of the reasons why a lot of, sales teams, agencies, they might hit a brick wall or crash or burn or have a bad month is because if the leader gives up, or the leader doesn't believe it's possible, or the leader doesn't believe in those individuals, doesn't believe in the team, or their mindset thinks that one vendor is bad or out to get them, or, whatever it is, the team is likely to latch onto those ideas and those beliefs because the leader is really the trendsetter of those beliefs, of those ideas. And so, I'm in an awesome mastermind right now called Scale. And I was listening to one of the videos, and they said your knowledge, your team's knowledge will never supersede your own knowledge. And I agree, and I kind of disagree a little bit. I feel like a really good leader will always be open to receive more knowledge from their team, because I love to surround myself with people who know more about certain things than me. But I do believe that the vision of the leader has to be bigger than the team's, because you're setting the growth trajectory. And I believe that mindset is the biggest key component to what you do, because if you don't believe it's possible for your team, if you don't change your thinking and how you perceive the world and how you perceive your business and how you perceive your industry, then your team is never going to perceive it differently. And if they do have bigger visions than you do, and if they do have higher ideas and better belief in themselves than they do, they're probably going to leave, which is what you don't want. You want the visionaries to stay with you on your team. So that's number two. If you guys are just joining us, we're talking about the 7 lessons I've learned about the impact of mindset has on leadership, because I have my amazing new program for founders and agency owners called Born to Dominate. And we are number 3. So number 3 is your superpower as a leader, which this is my favorite, is how do you get them to believe in themselves and do things they never thought was possible? That really is the secret sauce. And what is that, you guys? Confidence. And what am I all about teaching people? How to believe in themselves. Confident AF, right? Come on, y'all. Y'all know this. This ain't a drill. We know this. So the superpower of any leader is most leaders don't know how to get people to believe in themselves. They don't know how the mind and the human brain works. They don't know how to help them get into a confidence competence loop. They don't know how to address the problems and solutions. And, sometimes, everybody has a different personality. And so I've had a lot more practice because I've had so many one-on-one coaching clients. I've had so many group coaching clients. So I've had a lot of practice with this. But even with my own team, I'm still finding new ways to inspire and motivate them. I'm still finding new ways on how to get them to believe more in themselves. But like, there's no greater joy as a leader than seeing someone believe in a new level of what they're capable of doing and achieving, because you can stack it. And that is like such an amazing beauty. I'm thinking about my amazing team right now, and some of the stuff that they're doing is just really, really awesome. Number 4, a lot of leaders do not understand the key components of disintegration in relationships, which is trust, control, and recognition. Trust and control and recognition are the 3 most important pieces of leading a team. And what people don't understand is that there's mindset behind trust, there's mindset behind control, and there's mindset behind recognition. And what that mindset piece is you got to think that relationships are relationships. And every human being has had really good relationships. Every person has had some bad relationships. And so if you've had some bad relationships and you've had some good relationships, any of that unhealed baggage in relationships, you can potentially bring in to your leadership role, and your team can potentially bring into that job with them as well, right? And so when you understand what we're really talking about different types of emotional attachment styles in relationships. So we're really talking about and how that influences trust and control recognition. But the key ingredient of this is actually communication, right? Because if there's a breakdown in trust and you communicate, you can fix it. If someone feels like you're trying to take their free will away, which is why control stuff doesn't always work very well, you communicate. If someone feels like they're not being heard or valued or recognized, you can communicate. So communication solves a lot of those problems, but a lot of people don't know what the mindset pieces are behind that. And knowing that changes everything. Like, it's really, really, really important. Number 5, like I already talked about, but I feel like I just need to say it again, which is the root of all change is how you think about yourself, how you perceive about yourself, and how you think and perceive about your job. And a lot of you can't lead by dictation. People have to understand why it's going to help them be more successful, and you got to be willing to understand their thinking. And if you understand their thinking, you can help them shift their thinking so that they can be more successful. Because nobody in your team wants to fail. Nobody in your team wants to do a bad job. Nobody in your team wants to, be the last one in sales. They all want to do a really good job. You have to help them as a leader. And that was number 5. If you're joining us again, we're talking about 7 lessons I've learned about the impact mindset has on leadership. Number 6, I learned this from my mastermind too, which really gave me like a huge pause, which is you can teach skill, but you can't teach willpower. You can teach skill, but you can't teach willpower. And so basically the principle is, if someone doesn't have the skill and they're not succeeding, then that falls on you as a leader to fix, falls on you to train them better, give them the right tools and the processes so they're successful, which is amazing. However, willpower, basically the idea behind it is that if someone doesn't believe in themselves and they stop believing that they can be successful, then they basically end up quitting. And if they've quit, then it's time for them to leave your organization. I believe that there is a time and place for that, but I also believe that sometimes if you tie it back into their values, what really matters to them, you might be surprised of how they might change or act or behave differently. And number 7, energy. is huge when it comes to leadership and seeing your team get incredible and amazing results that you've never seen before. Energy, 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 energy. And I say all of this, all of you, I just gave you 7 lessons I've learned about the impact mindset as in leadership. Nothing makes me more excited than the opportunity to offer to agency owners who either have practical pieces that are already working good or have kick-ass practical pieces that are just flying off the chain, but they don't have the mindset. They're not teaching their team, because I know there's a lot of really good agency owners out there who have really good like standard operating procedures. They have really good like dialed in like best practices. They have really good training, but they're not teaching their team at all how to think differently about themselves, how to think differently about their clients, how to think differently about the world and what's possible for them, how to think differently about what they can achieve and ease and flow and abundance of time, like abundance in general. And just imagine what happens to your organization when you actually include that piece. If thoughts plus actions equals results, and good thoughts plus amazing action equals amazing results, and you think you have okay thoughts or good thoughts plus okay actions or good actions even, you're still not going to get the best results, because mindset changes everything. So I hope you all really, really enjoyed this impromptu live stream. This is going to be a bonus for this. This is probably going to be pre-work for Born to Dominate. But if you're interested in this, you're interested in having me be your, linchpin of really helping you and your agency shift their mindset, I would love to do that for you. All you got to do is comment, tell me more. And then guess what? Surprise, I'll tell you more. Love you guys so much. Thanks for watching. Have an awesome rest of your day.